try this out for quite some time. I was struggling between the King of Fighters 98 redub edition, because that's the best King of Fighters game in my opinion of all times. And then King of Fighters 13 came along, and I thought that was pretty good. Different route from the actual 2D step and the best 3D one. But then I saw gameplay of this one, King of Fighters 14, and I realized this was better than the King of Fighters 13. Not faster in movement when it comes to certain moves, but smoother in execution of certain things, and well as looking better overall. But I'm pretty sure that certain things that didn't work in 13 they adjusted for 14. Why they slowed it down. So I'm not sure if it's going to be better than 13, but based on what I've seen from gameplay, it seems to be about the same. It's just the speed has slowed down a little. Um, yeah, but that's it. I'm just going to get into this and I'll give my opinion on the overall game um, as a whole. I've been trying to play King of Fighters for quite some time now. The closest thing I got for that was this year when I played Street Fighter and Tekken. But I haven't played a King of Fighters in decades, to be honest with you. No, not decades. I would say about a full decade, almost 10 years. 10 years, or a little bit over 10 years. So it's been a while since I've actually done a King of Fighters game. So I'm really excited to get into this. Um, I love the Street Fighter type games, but I love 2D games better in fighting arena than 3D model games. But this game is pretty fun. I heard it was pretty fun, and it's got a pretty decent score. But you know how people score things, they can score it bad. What I will say, however, if anyone's listening, because I just do this to archive my own stuff. What I will say, however, is Final Fantasy 15. Now I don't have the right to tell people what game they could play with, what game they can't play. Final Fantasy 14, correction. Final Fantasy 14, not 15. It's an online game, and that online game requires a subscriptions in order to play it. Not like a free trial thing. I'm actually talking about the game itself. So actually, after you purchase that game and you decide to play that game, you have to keep that game current and active. And it has its own mechanical subscription thing. It's like a PlayStation Plus subscription in order to play multiplayer with other people as well and to interact with that world. So, what the hell? Why have a game with its own subscription service aside from PlayStation Plus? So I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell is Final Fantasy 14 doing? Have its own separate subscription for its own separate game aside from PlayStation Plus? Does that mean that I could play that game separate from PlayStation Plus and don't have to worry about the company that's PlayStation Plus charging me, but I'll still have to pay for the service for using them? They're one freaking game. PlayStation Plus gives you a service, a subscription service to play multiplayer with multiple games. So when I saw, well, okay, well, you're special enough that you decided to create your own subscription service. So when I have my PlayStation Plus and I play other games, now I have to have a subscription service for Final Fantasy 14 just to keep it active. And people say that that's not scumming. How is that not scumming? I mean, if it wouldn't be scummy if it was affiliated with every other Final Fantasy game, but it's not. It's affiliated with just Final Fantasy Online game. You're just getting that for the online game. And there's tons of games that you could multiplayer with other people, but the PlayStation Plus is for PlayStation to allow you to play multiple online games, MMORPGs with other people, and allow you to play multiplayer on every single PlayStation game. And Final Fantasy 14 is a PlayStation game. So why did they decide to take it upon themselves to have their own separate subscription service and having you now to charge for playing that subscription service just to play their game? And then you have to play your PlayStation Plus or get rid of your PlayStation Plus and only play Final Fantasy 14 because that's the only one that you play with other people. Like who in the world? You know what? I'm getting into King of Fighters. Fuck Final Fantasy 14. I don't care what awards they got at the Game Awards. No more talking. That's about as talk as it goes. We're getting into this and going extreme. Nothing else about no other games. I'm gonna speak after I finish this game.
Select the King of Fighters. Let's out!
ゆりちゃん伝説の始まりだ。
Let's out! Select.
イメージ通りに動けよ俺。
Round 1. Ready, go!
貫け。
Amazing! You win!
完璧でしょ。
どこからでも良いぞ。Round 2. Ready, go!
最高そうだ。テレポート。
回収。
サイコボール。
行くぞ。
全力。
回収。You're too strong. You win.
ナイスファイト。そうは
Round 3. Ready, go!
はっ呀哎呀呀我来了。呀大波动。哎呀哎呀サイコボール。はいサイコボール。サイコボール。サイコそうだよっ。レッツゴー。テレポート。はいおやすみなさい。まだまだ全力でいきます。えいやはいテレポート。はっはいはっおいおやすみなさい。ごめんなさい。やりすぎちゃいました。お怪我はありませんか。
Order select. Hey, come out! Round 1. Ready, go!
今回は俺の方が強かった。ただそれだけ。
Order select. Round 1. Ready, go! ボディが甘えぜ。おりゃ殺してあげる。ほらほらはじけて。くらえ。いやボディが甘えぜ。こっちよ。おっとおっと。Good job. You win. 燃えたろ。相も変わらず世界中に喧嘩売ってるような佇まいで。八神、お前友達いねえだろ。
ごたくはいい。
なるほど、調子良さそうじゃねえか。
まずは貴様を焼き尽くす。死ね草薙京。
了解、サクッと燃やしてやるよ。Round 2 Ready Go。
押した焼き尽く押した。
おっとつりゃおりゃ。つりゃつりゃくらえ。くらえんだ。おらくらえ。受けろ。遅い。おりゃ。You're too strong. You win. 燃えたな。
面白い。やろうか。
Round 3. Ready? Go!
いやどうだ
痛いよ。ビビってんじゃないよ。甘い。痛いよ。
Impressive!
You lose.
アテナ、行きます。 Round 4.
Ready? Go!
諦めな。
テレポート全力で行きます。テレポート。
痛いよ。
やりです。油断は禁物ですよ。
Order select.
Hey, come out!
Are you ready?
Round 1. Ready? Go!
まだ。
Watch out! Yeah!
まだよ。
Watch out! Hey! Amazing! You win! Okay!
私のすべて見せてあげる。
Round 2. Ready? Go! Try shoot!
どう？
Watch out!
おいで。
Watch out!
はい。覚悟してね。
Try shoot! It's up!
でき。
Tell it! Hey! Here's the big one! Oh! Great finish! You win! Okay!
Mission start.
Round 3. Ready? Go! Barnacle!
とりゃーとりゃーとりゃ
Close one. Try shoot! Watch out! Try shoot! Tell it!
ーさあ行くぜ
Try shoot!
とりゃおりゃ
Try shoot! Try shoot! Cover! Hey! Hey!
ああ、失礼します社長。
いいとこだったのに。
失礼します。大会の途中経過です。
おお、どれどれ。ああ、なるほどね。
現時点での視聴者数はなんと25億人を超えております。久しぶりの KOF 開催となりますが、過去の大会同様今回もハイレベルな大会となっております。
おお、そうでなければ必死こいて開催権を得たりせんや。25億か、まだまだインパクトに欠けるな。決勝までに200億達成しろよ。
実はアメリカ国税調査局の推計では現在の総人口はおよそ70億人となっておりますが、いかがいたしましょうか。
失礼だぞ常務。
やはりチームを組まれた方が良かったのでは。
無用な心配だ。手から火を出すマジシャン風情などに負けるわけがない。
ああ、
俺が雇った専属チームがいるだろう。例の
元ネスツのシルビーがどうか。
ああ、あいつらのチーム強いじゃねえか。決勝で俺とやり合うのはあいつらで決まりだな。しかも俺はあいつらより1億兆倍強い。
とはいえ犬の映画で涙腺が緩むほどの年齢ですし、あまり無理をされては。
失礼だぞ常務。
しかし油断は禁物です。
心配しすぎだ常務。俺はペットを捨てるやつと心配性は嫌いだ。
失礼しました。
よし、そろそろウォームアップ開始だ。行くぞ部長。
はい。
Order select.
Sakuni bosse. Round 1.
Ready, go!
甘すぎる。こっちだ。こっちだ。触るな。甘すぎる。リスナー。
Incredible! You win!
完璧でしょ。この大会も私たちの舞台の一つです。最高のステージにしましょう。
異論はない。エンターテイナーとして至高のひとときを与えよう。
はい、全身全霊をもってお相手します。
Round 2. Ready, go!
ショータイム。
舞い踊れイレンジェン
it! You win!
ナイスファイト。ビビッビービッビッビー。
Round 3, ready, go!
ビビビビビさあまだまだサイクロードこっちだよ。
Hey, come out!
Round 4.
Ready, go! Winner!
もっとハングリーになった方がいいんじゃないかい？
Order select.
Hey, come out!
Round 1.
Ready, go!
甘い。ベノムストライク。トルネードキック。
Try shoot!
ベノムストライク。ベノムストライク。ベノムストライク。まだまだ。
見てるだけじゃ飽き足らず、ついに戦うようになったのか。
まぐれじゃここまで来れないよ。
いや、キングとマイがいれば来れるだろう、普通。
今言ったこと後悔させてやるんだから。覚悟、テリー・ボガード。
Round 2, ready, go!
バーンナット。
おらー。
バーンナット。
Don't miss it.
Try shoot! バーンナット。
Wonderful.
You lose.
やったー、アリスの勝ちね。アテナ、行きまーす。 Round 3.
Ready,
かってらっしゃい。
Round 4. Ready, go!
はい、歌唱戦。はあ、歌唱戦。はあ、テレポート。ピンク。はあ、はい、はあ、歌唱戦。知らぬ流忍法。超必殺忍び勝ち。はい、ショータイム。はあ、ビュー。はい、はあ、やっ。ダイヤモンド。よっ。はあ、ショータイム。歌唱戦。はあ、参ります。歌唱戦。はあ、はい、ダイヤモンド。はあ、やっ。テレポート。はい、テレポート。サイコボール。いって歌唱戦。今回は新人さんが参加されているんですね。いつか私も女性格闘家の皆さん。
Order select.
ラブさんは異世界の方なんですよね。こちらの世界に何か大切なご用でもおありなんですか？
まあいろいろとね。それより君はあの少年と付き合っているのか？随分親しいようだが。
ケースのことですか？違いますよ。同じ修行仲間で大切な友達です。
あの少年も大変だな。だがまんざらでもない。
ラブさんは好きな方とかいらっしゃるんですか？
アースか？いや違うな。どうでもいい。試合だ、行くぞ。
はい、浅見アテナ行きます。
Round 1. Ready, go!
はあ、はあ、やっ。はあ、
ライオンタライオンタ
サイコボール。
チーズクラッシュ。
サイコボール。やっ。はい、サイコボール。はい、
ラッシュハート。
やっ。
は
はい、サイコボール。はい、
はいチーズクラッシュ。はあライオンタそれ。ライオンタそれ。
サイコボール。やっ。
ライジングハート。
Keep rocking! You win!
完璧でしょ。勝負だ。
Round 2. Ready, go!
はにゃー。そういうは。はあ、サイコボール。ふっやっ。はっやっ。はい。はっサイコボール。Wonderful!
You lose!
大勝利。
Hey, come out!
Round 3.
Ready, go!
はいっと。はいっと。ありゃー。全体でいくよ。
Try to!
ありゃ
Knockout! Yeah! You win! Okay!
行くよママ母
Round 4! Ready? Go!
ママ母よいしょママ母やー
Cover! Bob Knuckle!
ママ母
Bloodbourne! Try to!
ママ母
Power!
やーよいしょアンニュー Let's keep it up!
You lose!
大自然のお仕置きです
少しは燃えさせてくれよ。
Final round!
Ready?
Go! アンニュー参ります
おりゃおりゃ
焼き鳥にしねえように戦うのは疲れるぞ。
Order select. Member select.
行くぜ。片付けてやるぜ。
Member select.
おとなしくしていれば楽なものを。
Stage select. Member select.
行くとするかな。はあ、行くね。
修行の成果を見せてやる。精一杯演じよう。
アップ完了。行くぜ。
Order select.
どこからでも良いぞ。
はい。
Round 1.
Ready? Go!
トライ。トライ。はっ。はい。はっ。トライ。マウストライ。トライ。トライ。はっ。はい。
Incredible! Player 1 wins!
またお会いしましょう。
マイル。
Round 2. Ready? Go!
トライ。トライ。マウス。トライ。
I've never seen a fighter like this! Player 1 wins!
お疲れ様。
ほなやろか。
Round 3. Ready? Go!
トライ。トライ。トライ。マウス。トライ。
Member select.
おとなしくしていれば楽なもの。
修行の成果を見せてやる。ああ、出番ね。オンステージ。
俺に任せろ。片付けてやるぞ。
Order select.
アテナ、行きまーす。はい。
Round 1. Ready? Go!
トライ。はっ。はっ。トライ。トライ。トライ。はっ。はい。ト またお会いしましょう。
すぐ楽にしてやる。
Round 2 Ready Go!やっお疲れ様。
燃やしてやるよ。
Round 3 Ready Go! はい。
手加減なし。ブラックアウト。なしだ。
Amazing! Player 2 win!
くだらね
え。覚悟しな。
Round 4 Ready Go!
どれ痛いぜ。おりゃそれ頼むぜ相棒。眠れ魂の一撃。少しヒヤヒヤしたな。
アテナ、行きまーす。はい。
Round 1
Ready Go!
はい、テレポート。 またお会いしましょう。
すぐ楽にしてやる。
Round 2 Ready Go 空へ空へはっふっ
無駄だ。無駄だ。
Player 1 wins! お疲れ様。
燃やしてやるよ。
Round 3 Ready Go 空へ空へはっとはっ空へやっ舞うやっはいとはい
手加減
そろそろフィナーレ。あなたはよく戦ったわ。でもね、これにて終撃。次があるからさ、元気出して。
Controller select. Controller select. Member select.
大がっかりさせんじゃないよ。
Order select. Stage select. 全身全霊で来い。Round 1 Ready Go! ほらほら邪魔よ。
Alright, so I have no idea what that was about. I believe when you're playing online, if the person's signal is weak, it slows down your gameplay with them. So if you're trying to actually do certain moves and you can't get them off fast enough, then that screws up your whole playability doing the whole online thing. So to do online battle, I'm assuming that you have to have a higher speed internet in order to do that to work well, because that was a huge lag when I was doing it online with other players. At the beginning, it didn't, and it wasn't lagging between those other two players I was watching, but it was lagging halfway when it started with mines. No, I'm assuming, but here's the thing: there are two types of reasons why something could be lagging. One, you have bad networking. Two, there's something going on with the servers. And then there's the possibility of the third thing, being that how the person is actually someone that cheats or is a hacker type person. I don't know how they would go about making something slow down so they could actually win the fight. Well, their ones stay standard, but there's so many different type of people in this world, and so many different ways to cheat, and so many different ways to manipulate things. And I just find it very strange that it happened within that match. After I beat the first character, the lag started after I beat the first character, so it started directly after. And there are certain people that are very particular about winning and stuff. There are certain type of people that you have to always watch out for. So that's the thing that I'm wary of. When you're playing with certain online players, there are certain people who are willing to cheat the system by hacking or other things. Because I noticed as soon as I was watching those matches that those guys were having, nothing was lagging. And then when I first started a match with that person, it wasn't lagging before, until I beat their character, their first primary character. I guess they thought they were going to win using just the one character. But then it started lagging thereafter, and I couldn't get any wins or even be able to block things fast enough because the lag was so bad. So it's either one, two, three, or the fourth things. One, their servers is bad when it comes to connection. Two, because it's online, you're co-oping with people online. Two, your service, the person who's using the service for playing the game, is bad, and you can't connect with other people playing in their game, so you're slowing down while they're seeing their game fast, which is also bad for you. It has nothing to do with hacking. It's bad for you because then you will always lose because you have bad network service. Or three, it's not just about the servers, it's also about their connection. Their connection could be bad and not playing out fast enough and affecting your service to slow down your service. But usually when someone's connection is bad, it's usually towards the server or towards the person that you're trying to connect to. They'll be playing it fine, but on your end, because you're the person connected to theirs, you lag a lot, while they're perfectly fine. So when people are getting high scores fighting against other people, primarily they probably aren't getting high scores and being the best at what they could do. The cause of that is because they're connected towards a poor server or towards a poor service, and you're trying to fight them in their poor service or as a server. Or most of the time, it's simply because you're not good at playing. But in my case, when I lost to that guy the second time, it's simply based on lag, and the whole thing was lagging, and he obviously won with the same one character against three characters. So that never happened the first time I played, but one character against three characters. So it's hard to play co-op or any type of fighting game if you have shitty network connection, because that automatically gives an advantage to the other character. So I don't know if that was a hacking thing. I found it suspicious after I beat the first character. All of a sudden it started to happen. But maybe it's not an issue. But what I did is I went to test it out in this match. I tested it out without connecting to anyone, and it moves fast when I'm not connecting to anyone in this match. But the moment I go into co-op mode, it doesn't work. I mean, let me go to play online. It doesn't work for everyone. but all of a sudden he worked for that guy after his first character loss. So I find it very strange that that would happen. Like, you have to realize there are so many people that cheat, and sometimes you just don't know who's going to cheat and who isn't. And you don't know what type of... There are certain people who are so particular about losing, they're willing to cheat, and they could get away with it. And if they know that your network isn't good, they have a significant advantage. But how do you properly know that that's true or not? I don't know. Let me see. So what I'm going to do is, see, this character I was playing against, this character right here, this person right here, she kept spamming a move, like spamming a move over and over. I'm gonna fight this person again, and I'm gonna see if the lag happens again. And I'm gonna try to fight the person, not against that one person. I'm gonna choose someone totally different. Now, what I know for a fact is that I hate playing on the right side. That's another issue. I hate playing on the right side, and I'm always good playing on the left. And I think this person specifically picked playing on the left because. See, look, the person. That's all the person does. Spam that fucking move. See, that's all the person does. That's all she does. Stay in the air. See, it's lagging again. It's lagging again. There's something wrong with his network. I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna play because I play with other people. It's good. I think this person is only winning because they have a shitty network. Now, it started off good on this person's network, and then all of a sudden it's bad. So there has to be... See, and what's the worst thing? You can't exit out mid-game. You have to wait till the match finish. See, and now all of a sudden the characters, the movement within this person's network starts to go fast. I think this person has a real shitty networking. It makes no sense. It goes fast and then all of a sudden it goes slow. See, now it's slowing down again. I mean, how is this fun? Look at this. They're moving slow as fuck. This person has bad network. His network isn't bad because he's probably playing and seeing his things move fast, but anyone connected to his network can't see what the hell's going on. So while this person thinking that they're having sweet ass connection network, this person has some really shitty networking, man. And I bet you they think they're shit hot and stuff. Look how look how terrible the lag is, man. It's atrocious. Look how fast their network. It takes you so forever to get up. And this person probably think that they're shit hot or something. They don't even realize that you're struggling to actually connect to their networker. And they probably stay in the see, this is one of the problems that has to do with fighting games. It's terrible. Like if you're connected to someone who has shit network, or your network isn't, like, see, my network is all my bars are up. But then you're trying to struggle to fight them on their networking. Because look how terrible their networking is. Their network bar is 2. So even though your bar is all the way up, their bar is low. So you will always be lagging or falling behind, struggling to fight them. It's completely shitty. And they're thinking that they're probably shit hot or something. And they're not. So look, their bars went up to 3. This person has completely bad networking, and that's bad for when you're fighting. That's why certain people probably stay away. A lot of people stay away from online campaign fighting or fighting period, because all of a sudden you could be winning, and then next time you just started to lose because you're trying to do a move extremely fast, but the character is moving like molasses. It's embarrassing and it's pathetic. And like it's the co-op aspects of game should link you to people who have same bandwidth, or at least one bar below your bandwidth. It shouldn't be on a bandwidth that fluctuates, that go from 1 to 2 to 3 and then back down to 2. Because fluctuating bandwidth actually screw up co-op fighting game. It screw up any game. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, it was just like so difficult to get off moves. And this person probably think that they're the best there is, but they don't realize how shitty their network is because they cannot see that what you're doing on your play. So that's one of the horrible things about online co-op. What is any fighting game? Like, if you're not connected to someone who has a good bandwidth, it's bad. I think there should be. I think people who make games start that when you're connecting to or someone gameplay, it shouldn't be connected to that person's gameplay. It should be connected to the main server. That way you could actually blame the company for having a shitty server that people cannot connect it to or accurately, rather than to try to connect them via the server to their networking, which screws it up. Why should my networking that has all the bars up be lowered and trying to speed down to catch up to theirs, or theirs? I mean, it's hard and difficult to play. So the co-op features within King of Fighters 14 is shitty because it has to do with network connection. So the network connection is shitty, and you see not a lot of people play it because it's completely pathetic. It doesn't move fast. It's not fast enough. It doesn't work fast enough. Now the overall aspects of the game is good. The story mode, when you're playing the story mode, the single player story mode is good. How you choose to use certain characters, how you choose to use tutorials and training. I didn't do any training whatsoever at all because I didn't want to go into it through a training point of view. I just wanted to see how it is to play the game without no training on story mode. And the fighting escalates gradually as you go along, with regards to moves and how to do certain things. And certain characters work, and certain characters that person probably picked that character all the time because it's easy to use their move and easy to cheese with their moves. However, because that person has such bad internet connection, it's hard for anyone to play alongside that person, or anyone for instance to have bad internet connection. I think they should totally get rid of actually trying to connect to someone else's game completely and leave it totally up to the people who made the game. And if they say, well, that's what they do, then that person who has shitty connection should not be slowing down someone who has good connection. So that's bad. So the artwork for this game is very good. So I'll give it a full 1 point for that. I'm not going to do this like I do RPGs. I'm just going to go through the 1 to 10 process. Not going to go from the 0 to 10 like I do 0.1, 0.2, or 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. I'm not doing that here because I got to get off soon. But from what I could see, the artwork here has improved drastically since King of Fighters 13. So that's a 1. The online co-op features, on the other hand, is shittier than that of previous games. So that's a negative 1. Another positive 1 with regards to the game. The tutorial seems to be about the same. So having good tutorial and how having to do certain things within the tutorial is almost about the same, or a slightly improvement. So I'll say a slightly improvement is a 0.5, not a full 1. Its galleries is more interesting than the game itself, but that requires you to go outside of the game. So that's a bad thing. So that's a takeaway. You can't stream it. So maybe that's an artwork issue with regards to copyright. So you can't look at galleries outside of the game because maybe there's a copyright law issue that they don't want certain people to see, or they don't want certain people to stream. So I'm okay with that. I have nothing with bad with regards to that. So the artwork aspect of the game is good as well. So that's a good 1 point there. So now I'm at a 1.5 with regards to the game. Saving player data through connection via the company itself, that's also good. So I'll give it a 0.5 for that. Options to chain up certain features. I would say the options within this game are about standard at best. It's not even to give it high point or even a 0.5. I would say like a 0.2. So now I'm at a 1.7 with regards to that. Extra DLC character skins and stuff with regards to characters is good. So I'll give that an extra 1.5 for that, because the skins don't dictate like it should be a full 1. They're just attachments towards the games, unless the skins define the game like certain games. So now I'm at a 2.2. So with regards to the game, the actual training mode is good. The versus mode is actually good as well. With regards to the game, the actual environmental art for the setup screen is fast, moving from left to right, left to right. Actually, highlights on the characters are also fast. Moving back in and out of screens, where you select the data or option screens, or you say I want to play online. The movement with regards to selecting data is fast, or selecting windows is fast. Choosing online training, choosing character profile, so on and so forth. You could set that up however way you want, and you could, I guess, that's completely up to you. Choosing from the different fight lists, they have that within there. That's good as well, but that's not something that's that much of a big deal. So having a profile and having a fight list, I would say that's another 0.2 regards. So now I'm at a 2.9 regards to the game. Having a leadership board in the game is something that's a standard, but is it really good? So that character that does a lot of cheating with that character, it's not Dart. It's a similar character. I guess I wouldn't say it's cheating. I would say that they spam a move over and over again so they could win, so they don't lose. So I guess if you call it spamming cheating, then I guess that person isn't that good at their job at playing various mix-up with regards to their combos and so on and so forth. And that's coming from someone who hasn't played King of Fighters for 10 years or stuff. Now the online replay, I like the fact that that's in the game. so I'll be able to see how certain things are going on with regards to certain characters. So I could replay something that certain people were playing when they were online at any time, and I could replay it, or I could choose to go back and not to replay it. So depending on the fight that I did, I could replay the fight, or I could choose not to replay the fight. I like the fact that that's inside of the game. So now I'm at a 3 with regards to the game itself. I like the fact that it has a rank match aspects too, and based on the rank, you don't have to worry. And see, this is probably the best part of the game. You don't have to worry about fighting people who are so OP or who have been playing for so long that they know exactly what to do. You could be ranked in the game based on your stats as someone that just started to play, and so on and so forth. So I like that, and I could choose rank, and I could begin a search, and that's something that's good. So that's like a 3.1 right there. 3.2 would probably be the fact that you have the fact of selecting the side window and seeing the different aspects within the game of how it's set up, and how you can set your match prior to having the match whatsoever at all. You can also switch up your player ID. I like the loading time for the game as well. So now I'm at a 3.3. The loading time is pretty fast. I don't know why the game consistently try to put me on the goddamn left side. See, there it goes again, lag. Oh, and here's another bad thing with regards to the game. You cannot get out. I mean, if you decide to quit, you can't quit. There's no quit button. You have to stay in match. Like, you can't quit mid-match. See, the lag is so bad, man. When you're playing with anyone online, the lag is so bad. It's like you don't know what the hell is going on. You go for a kick and then you realize you're still in kick mode. Like, look at that, man. It takes so... And I can't press quit, man. And I can't press quit. I can't get out. There's no quit button. If you press the option button, you cannot quit. There's no options button to quit. It makes no goddamn sense. Like, if you make a mistake and choose the wrong character while you're in mid-match or something, or because of lag or something, they don't allow you to quit. So it makes no sense, man. So right now this game is at a 3 for me. 3.1. Always start me off at... I mean, technically, I don't even know what I'm doing, man. Look at the lag, man. It's so ridiculous. The lag is so atrocious, man. Like this thing happens a lot in a lot of games. There are certain games you can put up with, and certain games you can't. This is one of the games I could put up with the lag because it's a fighting game. When it comes to an RPG, that's something that's unforgivable. For a moment there, I didn't even know who the hell I was. I do have fun with the game. It's just that I think the lag takes away from the game itself. It really does. So I'm probably gonna hop off this soon. It's just that I wanted to see if the lag is an issue. It's not just with that guy that I was playing with before. It's a serious issue when you're doing online battle. Like when you go into the game and play the game itself, the CPU, it's not an issue. But the moment you get into online battle, it's an issue. Some people have good network, some people have bad network, but that's the main problem. I say from all around perspective, like doing missions and playing, having trials, time trials, and survival trials, those inclusions within the game makes it to a 4 to a 5. So I say within the trials, within the time attacks, within the survival modes combined together, that would go to a 4 or a 5 with regards to the game itself, as well as having the tutorials inside the game to help you along the way. But I already said that. So I say I believe it's an all-rounder game. If I was to state this game from the beginning, after loading this, look at the artwork. The artwork looks good. Look at the interactive buttons. The interactive buttons look good. Look at how fast you load in and load out of the game. That's good. So that's 3 things. Look at the actual mission types that you could do. Trials, a time attack, survival. That's good. That's the 4. Look at the tutorials. The tutorials are better than the one from King of Fighters 3. So that's a 5. And then look at the versus, which is pretty much common. So that's like a 0.5. And then you look at the training aspects of the game, and that's the standard for any game. So I would say that's not something big deal. So that's like a 0.2. That's not even a 5. And then the gallery aspects, which is another good thing with regards to the game that has certain people who actually did the artwork. That's a good, so that you get that game up to about a 6 with regards to the game. And the fact that it saves all the time is also good. The fact that it has your player data of your score, of your ranking, of your profile, replay, and character records. That's also something that's good. That fall into like the 7 category. And then you have your options. That you could select different options, which is about standard. I would say it goes from your game standards to your sound standards to your display standards to your button config. Those are also good. You would get that the game up to an 8 with regards to that. So, and then you'd have the overall dynamics of the game itself, such as the mechanics of the movements of certain attacks, and then actually the body language with regards to executing certain attacks, and the powers and effects with regards to in the game with executing a certain task. You can get the game up to a 9 in regards to that. And then you have to do the actually environment, not the environment art, but the actually usage of sound effects. I mean, not sound effects, but usage of connectivity, impact effects with regards to the game, and surrounding impact effects of certain things, leaves, wind, so on and so forth. Then you would get the game up to like 9.5 with regards to that, or even a 9 if you consider everything else. But here's the thing: after you get this game up to about a 9, then you start to slowly wear it away, slowly tear it down and see all the faults. So one of the major faults is the online co-op ability. So as you chop that 9 down from 9.5, you now get it to an 8.5. And then you have the fact that not a lot of people play the game, even in co-op mode. So then you don't have that much replayability with regards to the game, which has nothing to do with the lagging. So its replay value isn't that high because not a lot of people play it, even though it's a game that a lot of people should be playing. A lot of people play King of Fighters 98, but I believe the lag aspect is what takes away from the game. So I would say that 8.5 now goes down to us like a 7.5. And then you have to look at the fact of the actual story mode itself. So when you press the story mode, you get the story mode. You select the characters to do your story mode. And it's actually like a fight. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna pick anybody. So it's actually like a standard fight. Then you have the guy in his cigarette introducing everything. He says everything. It's like a King of Iron Fist type of thing. Then you have his little scene. Then he speaks, and then you get into a fight. And then after you get into a fight, there are like three fights, and then you go into another cutscene. And the cutscene happens, and the guy starts talking about the tournament and everything to his account and so on and so forth. And then you do 3 more fights, and then another cutscene happens. So it's not like it's an actual story that's fleshed out well with regards to having a fight. So if it felt like the actual story was connected towards the fight, it would feel like it's something that was good. But it feels like the fights weren't connected towards the story at all. They just felt they were thrown in there because it's a fighting game, and they're fighting the tournament in order to be king of fighters. But it doesn't feel like the fighters in participating in the story are actually connected, so on and so forth. It just feel like repetitions from the previous KOF games. So now that 7.5 goes down to like a 6.5. So I would say as an all-around game, considering everything, data options, tutorials and everything, this game is like a 6, in my opinion. The online aspects of the game really takes away from the game itself. So you could get this game anywhere from a 6 to a 6.5, and if you really like King of Fighters, you could see this getting up to a 7. But I believe this game doesn't even merit that. I mean, there's nothing that complicated about King of Fighters in comparison to other fighting games like Street Fighter. I would say they put more effort into Street Fighter than they did into this, and they definitely put more effort into Tekken than they did with regards to this fighting game. And I believe the old school 2D King of Fighters are better. The 3D really takes a load when it comes on to online co-op connected towards servers or other people's connection. So that's a problem. So that's why I say this game is probably a 6 most. And I can't see this game falling into the 7 or 8 category. I believe this game is a 6. So I'm not going to try to fight other people within online co-op anymore. And it's not, I don't believe this game's up to the Virtua Fighter 5, Tekken, Tournament style, or even Street Fighter. I think it falls off very far, very fast. It's still good. The fighting aspects of the game, not associated with online co-op, is good. And that's why I don't think this game is within the 5 category. It stays within the 6 category, because if it was within the 5 category in this King of Fighters game, I would say it would be a failure to be slightly above average. But I believe it's more than slightly above average. It's more than within the 5 category. I think it falls within the 6th realm. But I don't see this game falling within the 7 or 8th realm. I believe that they're so many things that could be done, so many missed opportunities, and yeah, I don't think they're fully made the story connected to the characters, and they didn't deal with the connectivity issues or the lagging issues. And the missions are trial, time attack, and survival. I would say if I was to try one of them, they were I can't tell by simply how they work, but I believe they're like I believe they're like Tekken 3 survival. You have to do certain objectives within certain things. I believe this is where the bread and butter of the game really exists. The trials, the time attack, and the survival. Like how long can you survive? How long can you survive playing against a certain character? Like how many characters can you survive and beat up? And how high a score can you get with regards to that? Because you see the characters really aren't swinging and punching and so on and so forth. So it's really based on how the time attack or survival, how much damage you could take, how many enemies you could take down before you completely run out of health. So that seems interesting as well. So that's test how long you could survive. And time attack is basically probably a quick fire countdown, and I mean, I don't really need to play it. I can already tell it. Now, with regards to voice acting, that's another thing. I mean, I spoke on the art, but the voice acting seemed to be kind of the same, reusing the same characters. So that's how time attack goes. Nothing big deal. It's not like it's something complicated. I mean, I kind of figured that that's what it was all about. And then there's trials. So I already know what that's about. Trials in this is the same as the trials in any game. So even though the bread and the butter seems to be these things attached to the game, they are standard at best. And the story is kind of lacking, and the verses and the training are about standards as well, and tutorials good. So the most interesting thing in the game is the online co-op feature, which doesn't work that well, and the story, which is somewhat interesting. And I'll say about this, this is the most interesting aspect because it connects to you to and trains you how to do certain things and how to survive longer and how to accomplish certain activities, so on and so forth. And training aspect is also work as well. So this game to me falls within the 6 category. I believe this game is actually a 6. Slightly above average would be within the 5 to 5.8 category, 5.9 category. I think it excels a little bit above that and falls into the 6, 6.5 category. I don't see this game being in the 7. So that's all I got to say for King of Fighters. If I'm going to play this game, continue to play this game, which I will, I'm going to play this game as something that I do for myself. Would I recommend this game to other fighting game fans? No. I wouldn't recommend this game to other fighting game fans. I'll recommend Tekken 6 to other fighting game fans. Or not Tekken 6, Tekken 7, the latest Tekken. I could recommend that to fighting game fans, and Street Fighter, and I would say that's about it. Oh yeah, and Super Smash Brothers, but that's about it. To me, Virtua Fighter is too complicated for fighting game fans. To me, this falls within a mix between Virtua Fighter and Street Fighter. It's complicated if you know how to, if you don't know how to use the moves, but it's easy once you learn how to use the moves. I would say Mortal Kombat would fall in directly into the third slot category when it comes to fighting games. I would say the first slot will always be Tekken, and then the second would probably be Super Smash, and then the third would be Mortal Kombat, and then the fourth would be Street Fighter, or Street Fighter would take over the third slot, and then Mortal Kombat will fall into the fourth category. It really depends on the type of person you are. But if you're not into Super Smash Brothers, the obvious would be Tekken, and then Street Fighter, and then Mortal Kombat, and then Super Smash, or Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Smash. But this game is always, I would say this game falls into, as a fighting, it falls into the sixth category. Virtua Fighter is definitely better than this, and it's definitely better than this. The fighting moves definitely better than this. And online co-op in Virtua Fighter, I would say, falls into the same painful category of lagging sometimes, but I think it's more respectful with regards to that. So if you're going to purchase a fighting game, I will always suggest Tekken first. I will always suggest Street Fighter second. I will always suggest either Super Smash Bros. As your third, or Mortal Kombat as your third. And then your fourth will be vice versa, either one. And then your fifth would be Virtua Fighter. And then everything else falls into the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 categories. But this is not in the top 5 of best fighting games. It falls into the top 10, but it's not in that top 5 category. So until they fix certain things with regards to the online co-op, or figure out a way to connect people to online co-op, I believe this game will always be within the 6th category. And if it wasn't for their rank matches, where you could select rank match and connect with people who are your rank, or around your rank, I would say not a lot of people would play it. And especially if the matchmaking and the region matchmaking were terrible, which they are, no one will play it. So I like the fact that it has rank match, and I consider the fact that it has rank match as well, and free match, and you could see online, and you could do online training. I like the fact that it has these things. That's why I say this game ranges anywhere from a 6 to like a 6.5, or anywhere within the 6.8 category, but it doesn't fall into 7 category. So if you are interested in King of Fighters, this is probably the third best King of Fighter game. I would say King of Fighters 98 will always be the best. I would say King of Fighters, the Orochi Saga will probably come in second, because you get a lot with that. And then the third will probably be this one, King of Fighters 14. And if you don't like this one, then King of Fighters 13. But this and King of Fighters 13 will always be kind of connected to each other, like opposite ends of each other. If you don't like things working in King of Fighters 13, you might like it working in King of Fighters 14. If you don't like things working in King of Fighters 14, you might like it better in King of Fighters 13. But the prime King of Fighters game will always be King of Fighters 98, and the Orochi Saga like compilation buy. I would go with the Orochi Saga compilation buy, because you get to play all different stages of King of Fighters throughout the years, rather than just play King of Fighters 98. So as a buy, I would go with Orochi Saga first, and then if you like that, I would select King of Fighters 98. But this will always be my third within the King of Fighters genre. Nothing more. That's it for this video.